a local hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. Criminal charges are being referred to the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office. Liberal Justice Janet Protasiewicz was sworn in publicly at the state capitol on Tuesday, August 1st into the Wisconsin Supreme Court to serve a 10-year term, marking the first time in over a decade liberals will hold a majority on the court. Protasiewicz, who previously served as a Milwaukee County Circuit Judge and former prosecutor, defeated conservative Dan Kelly by 11 points in April, moving the court to a 4-3 liberal majority. A lawsuit aimed at rewriting Wisconsin's legislative maps to favor Republicans less is expected to be filed Wednesday at the state Supreme Court, a day after the state's highest court flipped to liberal control for the first time in years. Political districts typically are redrawn once every 10 years, following the completion of the U.S. Census. The current maps tilt heavily in Republicans' favor, with 63 of the 99 assembly seats and 23 of the 33 Senate seats leaning towards the GOP. Law Forward, a Madison-based, liberal-leaning law firm focused on voting issues, is bringing the legal challenge straight to the Supreme Court. By bypassing lower courts, the challenge will be expedited and could lead to an outcome before the 2024 elections. Congratulations are in order for the Truth's very own Melanie Ricks. The Milwaukee Bucks have hired Melanie Ricks as their new sideline and digital reporter, replacing Zora Stevenson, who announced she was leaving the Bucks back in July after she took a job with a national network. Ricks will report for all Bucks games airing on Bally Sports Wisconsin and work as a digital reporter for the Bucks' in-house team. This has been your 1017 The Truth News Update. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is up next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, I'm upset. Why? Because I can never get my headphones set right before I start. And then I get confused. And then I get, well, I got to sit down for this one. Oh. You ever go through life wondering why people don't really like, anyway. I was about to complain about something, but, you know, it doesn't matter. It's not worth it. It's It's really not. I got some great things to talk about today, but I got to ask you. I keep hearing, and I always get complaints. I know I'm going to get complaints because I know that you always talk about younger people. Yeah, I do, because when I was that age, people talked about me. So I got to pass on the love, right? and harass you the way I got harassed. By the way, 833-212-1017 is the number. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. And I speak Black English, because I didn't say I'm your host. I said I'm your host. Why? Because and it's a thing. It's okay, and I don't really care if people like it or not. But one of the things that I keep hearing repeatedly is, "That's fair," and I don't really understand what that means or why that has become a thing. Right? That's fair, or that's not fair. So number one, why is fairness so important? Like, I don't understand why, of all the things to be stuck on in life, fairness. We've shown since the inception of this country, life's not fair. But then you'll say something and they agree with it, and they'll say, oh, that's fair. And I want to ask, what does fairness have to do with it? It's either going to happen or it's not. Fairness, in my life, is completely irrelevant. But then why is fairness even a thing? Life is not going to be fair, ever. Ever. Somebody is going to feel slighted. Somebody is going to feel like they were taken advantage of. Somebody is going to lose. And somebody's going to win. And I think that's perfectly okay. Fairness? Yeah, right. Life's not going to be fair. I don't think it ever will be. Have you ever gotten into a fight? Any kind of fight. Social media fight. Verbal fight. Personally. Conversation. A fist fight, any kind of fight, it's not fair. People don't fight fair. People that fight fair lose. You have to fight for an advantage and then take it. And all the niceties in life, that's all cute, but you won't have anything. You will not have accomplished anything. There are actual losers and winners, and sometimes you can win and nobody loses. Sometimes you can lose, and it's not a really good thing for anybody. But that's just called life. It's not fair. And I think we should throw it out. Something I remember hearing a while ago that said, when you're fighting in the arena of life, there are no weight classes. Like, there are going to be people that are bigger than you, people that are smaller than you, people that have the skill, people that don't have the skill. And when you get into a fight, and when I use fight, I use it very broadly. Fighting to win a job, fight to win a job at a certain organization, right? Fight to win an award. It's a fight. My generation calls it a fight. We embrace the fight. Right? We marched because of fight. We boycotted. It's a fight. We rioted. It's a fight. To win. Was it fair? Was rioting ever fair? No. Took advantage. Is fighting ever fair? No. But you have to remember, in life, there are no weight classes. You don't get to do like the boxer. Hey, we're about the same weight, so we get to fight each other. Nope. You have corporations that are literally the richest corporations in the world, and you fighting against them. But can you win? Yes. We'll talk about that in the next segment, because I have a story about a fight that's been going on for decades, and they finally won. And so, anybody under the sound of my voice, the next time somebody says repeatedly, life's not fair, just reply with one thing. No, it's not.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
This is 1017 The Truth's Melanie Ricks, and I am Milwaukee. I love Milwaukee so much. I love how rich this city is in history, and I love how rich we are in the moment. I think that every day there's something new that our city accomplishes, but it's important that we keep remembering that it takes a village to be great, and I know that we can be great as long as we all stick together. So why not stick together and join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the new 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Aloha, baby. A brand new baby is on the way. Let's celebrate in a special way. Luau style. Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated and Molina Healthcare invites moms-to-be and dads to the Luau Lullaby Community Baby Shower. What's more exciting than celebrating a newborn's arrival? Let Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated share in your excitement. Join us and celebrate on Friday, August 11th from 2 to 5 p.m. at the MLK Heritage Health Center, 2555 North MLK Drive. Hi, it's Andrea Williams, and I'll be your host along with entertainment by DJ Cheerio and Mr. Jackie Caldwell. Enjoy great Luau baby shower fun. Receive gifts and a special sit-down dinner. It's a Luau Lullaby Community Baby Shower just for you. This event offers resources and other valuable information for moms-to-be and dads. For more information, call Pamela Clark at 414-267-2655. Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated. Your health is our business.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Attention, families. Milwaukee Public Museum wants to remind you that Kohl's Thank You Thursdays are in full swing. Receive free access to MPM's permanent exhibits on the first Thursday of every month. Milwaukee Public Museum would like to thank Kohl's for their support in making this program possible. Visit MPM's website today for more information and to book your reservations. mpm.edu/KTYT. That's mpm.edu/KTYT.
Are you looking for an opportunity to better the Milwaukee community? Do you want to develop your skills for a career or job? City Year Milwaukee is recruiting for its 14th cohort of AmeriCorps members. We are hiring young adults ages 18 to 25 to serve our amazing scholars in Milwaukee Public Schools. This opportunity allows you to serve your community and gain professional development, which will allow you to enter the workforce, your next educational journey, or even stay with us for a second year of service. Visit cityyear.org to connect with our local recruiters and learn how to apply.
The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yo, this is Queen Latifah, bringing a song to you about a place you might live. In case you don't understand, it's called New Jack City.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-10. Yeah. I'm sorry. So this is not your fault. So I went to go reach, right? Because I put my book right here every day, right? Yeah, it's sitting right there, isn't it? I went, I didn't put up anything to read. That's because knucklehead me didn't pick it up. Anyway, that was dumb. But that just goes to show you the habit that you have every day of doing stuff. Me, yeah, my ADHD makes me forget, and then I get distracted, and then I forget. Because I came in and I literally walked around the table to go get it, and then I thought something or I said something and poof, gone. Isn't that a shame? But it's honest. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I came across the story, Henrietta Lacks. Anybody know? You know who Henrietta Lacks is? Henrietta Lacks? So, HeLa cells, right? The immortal cells that they found out. Well, here's the story. In case you haven't heard, relatives of Henrietta Lacks said yesterday historic agreement they reached with a biotechnology company that used and profited off of Henrietta Lacks' cells without her permission or the family's permission is the start of a fight that could ensnare untold number of firms that do the same thing. Lawyers who represent Lacks' descendants say any company using her cells, known as HeLa cells, for research or product development without consulting or compensating the family might be the next target. See in court. Stay tuned, says Chris Ayers, an attorney who represents the Lacks family after announcing the settlement between Thermo Fisher Scientific, that's a Massachusetts-based biotech giant that I believe has an office right here in Milwaukee. The fight against those who profit and choose to profit off the deeply unethical and unlawful history of the origins of HeLa cells will continue. So I have a great book about Henrietta Lacks, and it explains that information. The terms of the settlement between the Lacks family and the company were not disclosed. Thermo Fisher Scientific said in a statement, the parties are pleased that they were able to find a way to resolve this matter outside of court and will have no further comment. How many other companies the Lacks family might file suit against and likelihood of replicating their success wasn't immediately clear, given the expansive use of HeLa cells in science and medical schools for decades. Who's Henrietta Lacks? The cells were taken from her. She was a 31-year-old African-American cervical cancer patient at Johns Hopkins Hospital, back in 1951 when they wouldn't let black people actually have an entrance or be in certain parts of the hospital. She was the first known person to replicate cells outside the body. Her cell line has been used in countless pursuits. Since then, scientists have published more than 110,000 research papers involving HeLa cells, according to the National Institutes of Health. And a spokesperson for Johns Hopkins, which gave away the cells and did not directly profit, did not respond to a request for comment. The cells have been used to develop the polio vaccine. Hey, so much for diversity, equity, and inclusion. I guess we believe in diversity and inclusion, but equity is out the window when you make money. They find and treat cancer, explain HIV and Ebola infections, other uses. The Lacks family agreed that some of the research providing whole genome data to scientists that could be used for more discoveries and treatments, but rarely have companies that use the cells sought or won the family's permission. The lawsuit the Lacks family brought against Thermo Fisher Scientific alleged something called unjust enrichment. The legal strategy was first proposed a decade ago by Southern University Law Center professor Deliso Alford, who specializes in teaching ethics to law and medical students. She got the idea after attending a conference on legal remedies. To prove their case, Alford argued in a 2012 Health Law Journal that the defendant was aware of the benefit and that the defendant had inequitably retained the benefit even after learning it was tainted. Alford believed the Lacks family had enough evidence to satisfy all three requirements, and though she never imagined that trial lawyers would read the journal article years later, file a federal lawsuit built around her ideas, but they did. Reached by phone yesterday, she called the notion of a settlement was reached and a roadmap for new complaints developed surreal. She said, I am truly humble to see the process work. I wrote a law review paper, and that article served as a catalyst, as a theory of the case. The case for Thermo Fisher Scientific is so unique and the settlement so groundbreaking that there may be no clear parallel, legal experts say. Opioid, tobacco, asbestos companies have all settled claims brought by classes of victims. In this case, a single family is seeking to bring damages amongst numerous defendants. Wisconsin-based Health Sciences Law Group, LLC, Robin Shapiro said this could be endless. The boundaries of what we're talking about do seem far and wide. And they should be. And they should be. 833-212-1017 is the number. Is this the start? We have remedies that have gone on for decades. Think about this. 1951, it's 2023. The family has not been compensated. They stretched out the lawsuit until Henrietta Lacks died in her sleep, and then they refused to pay. Oh, she was the one that we would have paid. Too bad, family does. And when the family went to court to try to say we have standing, they said no. And they took ourselves and made billions of dollars and got paid billions of dollars for products and discoveries and treatments and never paid the family a dime. And so you wonder why black people don't trust the healthcare community. You wonder why they don't trust big business. This is a perfect example. What should the Lacks family do next? 833-212-1017. What would you do next? You see, Johns Hopkins didn't want to comment on it. But any of the places that Johns Hopkins sent those cells and subsequently got business from and paid, Johns Hopkins, I believe, should pay. I'm not a lawyer, but I think at some point somebody has to pay for the damage that was done. Eight 833-212-1017. I'm excited to hear this. Mr. Medee said black people don't trust God. That's their problem. No, it's not. I completely disagree. He also said life is fair. Your choices that you make may not be fair. Disagree twice. You're 0 for 2 today. Al said a mentor of mine used to tell me the only thing that's fair in life is the county fair. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Anyway, I think they should go for it. Healthcare companies have made billions of dollars off this family. One cell. I mean, think about that. One cell that self-replicates and does not die. Think about that. One cell from Henrietta Lacks grows into 2, and then to 4, and then to 6, and then to 8, into oblivion. 50? It's been 72 years. 72 years. Companies have been making billions of dollars. I dare say trillions of dollars off of this one black family. And then use the legal system to say, hey, you know what? Too bad. And laugh in their face. In an obscure paper written at Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in 2012. And somebody used it and won. Kind of the same way we did with Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas, right? Critical law theory, we put it into critical race theory, made the argument using narratives that were factual and won. So it can happen again. The trick with that is making sure the narrative is actually factual. And so when Thurgood Marshall went in, he told the story and used the facts in a narrative to build the story and won. And it was great. And now, once again, we have a theory where somebody came in and said, if it's applicable here, it's applicable in a lesser sense. You can't use it with companies and large. And she basically reversed the class action lawsuit where it's many against one, and now it's one against many. And she won. Well, her paper was great, and Chris won. Ray from Racine said, pay her. Her family, they still deserve what's owed. Can you imagine the generational wealth, right? It's been 70 years, right? It's been 70 years, well, 71 years, that they've been making money off her. That's 3 generations. Think about that. Possibly 4. Think of the change of a generation. Think 3, 4 generations that could have changed simply because they paid her family. Mr. Medee said, America is not a victim country. They're a country of victimizing. That's true. Well, I guess you 1 out of 3 today. 414-350 said unjust enrichment also sounds like a sound argument for reparations amongst other arguments. Well, yes and no. I understand the argument against reparations. I also answer those questions when people say they're against reparations in terms of how would you figure it out and where you're from. Hey, all this DNA we've got, the Mormons are sitting on the Mormons own Ancestry.com, right? All that stuff is sitting in Salt Lake City. All the DNA. The cool thing about it, if we could merge all of our DNA in different places we've had it taken and put it in all the databases and merge those databases and figure out your actual percentage, because mine is 87% because of my grandfather. 87% African. Most people are about a third. 87%. So when we talk about reparations, and no, I'm not going to dive into that. We'll do it sometime later. But when we talk about reparations, it has to be very specific. And I don't think it can be monetary in terms of putting money in my pocket. It might be some nominal amount. But I think in terms of the things that we've lost, real estate, investment, companies, education, the things that make us personally better and then we can do better for ourselves. I think that's where it needs to come from. But that's just me. 833-212-1017 is the number. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. And I think we got traffic, sports, weather, and I think me coming up next.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
On Saturday, August 5th, Milwaukee, we plan to stay woke in the fight for an inclusive, multiracial democracy.
Join the Transformative Justice Coalition in Milwaukee Sherman Park from noon to 3 p.m. as they host a live stream, nationally broadcast celebration of the 1965 Voting Rights Act.
An all-star lineup of national and local voting rights advocates will celebrate the victories of the past,
focus on the work of the present,
and inspire future leaders to be engaged in the fight to protect voting rights.
After the program, the celebration continues with a community cookout from 3 to 6 p.m.
Free and open to the public.
Enjoy free food, music, resources, and youth haircuts while they last.
And check your voter status.
That's Saturday, August 5th from noon to 3 p.m. at Sherman Park.
Or watch live on Facebook at tjc.dc. Additional sponsors: Rainbow Push Coalition, Black Voters Matter, League of Women Voters, the National Organization for Women, Wisconsin Voices, and a number of local partners.
Hi, I'm Kennedy Olinger, and I'm a proud Riverside University High School Tiger. As a rising senior and top 10 in my class, I'm excited to lead our school's National Honor Society as the president and to coordinate our seasonal school blood drive. I also appreciate that my school offers Tiger Sisters, which is a women's empowerment mental health awareness group, which meets every Friday. On August 12th, come and see Riverside and get ready to head back to school at the Truth Family Fest from 10 to 3. We will have food trucks, vendors, and entertainment. See you there.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and I lost my 10-year-old daughter, Teresa, to COVID in just a few short days. Teresa was a healthy child who loved to dance. When Teresa got sick, I didn't think it was serious until she was rushed to the hospital. COVID and flu can be serious for anyone, but they're especially dangerous for communities of color. Please get your COVID and flu vaccines and stay up to date on all immunizations, because vaccines save lives.
To learn how to protect your family, visit vaccinateyourfamily.org/learn.
The Age of Reason took place over 200 years ago. It was a time of amazing scientific and philosophical progress all over the world. Truth, reason, and tolerance thrived and even shaped the Constitution of the United States of America, the foundation of our democracy. But now those building blocks of America, of democracy, are under attack. In just 2 decades, big tech social media billionaires have allowed their platforms to roll back truth, facts, and tolerance, and fill the screens in our homes and in our pockets with lies and hate. Online disinformation and hate affect everything, everyone, everywhere. It splits us apart, hurts our children, polarizes our societies, and is literally leading to violence and terror in our communities. Lies and hate everywhere are a threat to all people, anywhere. Be a part of the change. Help defend the future of our democracy. Go to counterhate.com to learn more.
We got some pockets of heavy traffic along southbound 43, one from Silver Spring to Hampton, and then back on the brakes from just south of Capitol Drive, pretty much all the way down through the Marquette onto 4394 southbound. Northbound 43 slowing from Fond du Lac Avenue almost up to Capitol Drive. The other heavy spot's going to be on 41 southbound, just south of Appleton Avenue. You'll hit the brakes. Don't really let up until you get past Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, humid, a low of 69. Tomorrow, sunny, hot, and humid, slight chance for a pop-up shower or storm with a high of 90. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Stein. Behind 6 innings of work from Freddie Peralta and a timely hit from Joey Wiemer, the Milwaukee Brewers bounced back on Tuesday night in Washington to snap their 4-game losing streak, beating the Nationals by a final score of 6-4. The Brewers will look for the series win later today in our nation's capital. 12:05 is the first pitch. Wade Miley expected to get the start. Over to the NFL, where the Packers held their first full padded practice on Tuesday afternoon. So far in camp, there have been some lows and some highs for new starter Jordan Love in the offense. But for the former first-round pick, it's all about establishing consistency throughout the summer.
I think it's just that consistency. I don't think we are being consistent in all the rules, in the offense. As consistent as we can be in the plays, and it just comes down to us being on the same page.
This sports update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. I'm sorry. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017 is the number. Ronnie said, every time I hear all of us research program commercials, I lament how many trillions of... Okay. Every time I hear all of us research project commercials, I lament how many trillions will be made from that with none of that money coming back to us. Well, I got to tell you, all of us is a little different. I'm a member of all of us. I'm a the Milwaukee All of Us, and I've given my DNA and blood and all that, all my statistics. So I can, like I said, we used to have a Saturday show that talked about all of us and the things they did and all that. So that being said, one of the things they're doing it for is something that the Johns Hopkins and all those other places didn't do. One of the things they're doing, not one of the things, the main things they're doing is this. They're using the blood, the data, the DNA for research, the same research. Let me give an example. Cancer research, right? What type of cancer affects black people more than anything? Breast cancer. Black women are significantly more impacted by breast cancer than white women. Something based on the Constitution, the Constitution of the person, something based on the biology. We could pretend like we're the same, but there's something indigenous to people of sub-Saharan African nativity that causes breast cancer to affect black women different. So testing on those products for cancer using DNA, blood, all those things from black people makes it significant. So when they develop drugs, and I'm doing a poor example of it because I'm not a biomedical engineer, it enables them to now see the effects of these particular drugs on black people and whether or not what the efficacy of it is. Is it going to work? Are 50% of the people living? Are 90% of the people living? Or are 2%? All those things matter because of your constitution and the way you're made up and who you are. When we discount those, we just make drugs and say, hey, the same thing we do for black people, we do for white people. We can't do colon cancer for black and white. We can't do prostate cancer for black the same we do for white. Now, they're telling people, oh, no, you don't need this until, and I say no. I say you should start getting screened for colon cancer as early as you can. Because I know people that are in their 20s and 30s. Chadwick Boseman is dead today because of colon cancer. And someone should have caught that. He's too young. If you have people in your family who've had it, like all those things, right? That's why we need things like All of Us to take our blood, our DNA, and have the researchers use it testing ours. So that then the pills they make, the medication they create, the techniques they use help us. We're different. Full stop. Like that's not a negative. That's not a bad thing. Derek said, Dr. Ken, all you came up with is cancer, but tell the truth about the other things they use our DNA for. Well, what other things do they use our DNA for? Tell me, Derek. Like you act like I'm hiding something. I just use it as an example, but what exactly am I hiding? What, you making clones of people? You gonna clone Tyrone? I saw the movie, by the way. I mean, come on. If they do, they do. There's always a negative side to everything positive. There's always a side that's, I don't like that part, but 95% of it's good. Let's go with that. Stop seeing everything so negative. Stop looking like everything is a conspiracy. It might be, but are you going to not win? Are you going to not move forward because, well, I don't trust this, so I'm going to just, die? Doesn't make any sense to me. 833-212-1017 is the number. Security Mike said, wow, they dirty, Dr. Ken. All that money made off that one sale. More reasons why reparations are warranted. Okay, that ain't got nothing to do with reparations. That's one person, one family, one woman's sales. That ain't got nothing to do with reparations. Now, her family needs reparations. I agree with that. We can't get nothing for our breakthroughs. Well, I think the family of the electronic traffic signal, putting people on the moon, Hidden Figures, they kind of made out okay. I'm just saying. Some black people have made out okay. Not everybody was taken advantage of. Yes, it did happen. Many of us were taken advantage of. Many of us were not, and we made it. So let's look at it both ways, half empty and half full. And then finally, before I go to the phones, Mr. Medee said, wow, you agree with me much, my brother. Welcome back. Anyway, Sandra, you're on the new 101.7 The Truth. How are you, Sandra? Where you been?
Doctor's office.
And how you doing? I just want to know how you doing. How are you doing?
I don't know.
I mean, you don't have to put your business on the radio, but you're good. You're hanging in there.
I'm still working on it.
Right.
Yeah, no. So I had my little test, got my results, got to do my treatments, and that's basically where I am.
Ding! So she's back. All right, I'm happy.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I got some of the pain away because that pain was a mess.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you were talking about the Henrietta Lacks story.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering, it was these HeLa cells. I read that some time ago in the Tribune.
Right.
And Pretty Woman. And now those cells, I know they her family didn't let her family know they had taken the cells.
Correct.
But those they were some strange cells. They could survive outside the body. Isn't
Correct.
that kind of scary?
they could not only survive outside the body, but they replicate it.
Yeah,
right.
That's scary, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's not scary.
But you'd be wondering if those
she's not the only person. She's not the only person.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think I would think, just say if somebody died of cancer, malignant, and they died of cancer, I would wonder how they kill the cells. Do they burn them up?
Well, remember, once your body dies, you die. But if I remove the cell live, it can stay alive.
Because I was just wondering, because sometimes they put people in the ground, then we got polluted ground, and you just be wondering about this stuff. Okay. And then they were saying that stuff that you use for what's that stuff for the land, that it was causing what is it, some kind of multiple sclerosis or some kind of something that Malargonite or some Malargonite or something.
Malargonite,
yeah. They said that was causing problems with people's health care. And so I got to reread on that again. I haven't heard too much about it for a while. But I was just going to say one more thing. I'm not going to keep you too busy. But you said you were saying about fairness. And so it just made me think of this little boss I had at work. And I was talking to him one day, and he told me, he says, everything in life ain't fair. I looked at him kind of strange, because I said to myself, yeah, I kind of know that. And when he told me that, I got kind of shocked, because I guess, he had told me he was adopted. So I guess everything in life wasn't fair to him because, he was giving up. But when he said that to me, we had a union. So I said to myself, now you just do something. You do something that's not right, where we can respond with the union, and the union can come back and back us up. I says, I'm going to turn them into you. I'm going to put them on you. But I never told him that. I just kind of listened to what he said and kind of shrugged it off. But other than that, that's the only time I ever saw anybody say anything to me about being fair. But I know it's a lot of things go on. So we just have to be vigilant, and we have to roll up our dukes, and we have to fight.
All right. Thank you much. I appreciate it.
Okay, then.
All right. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, you too.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's that time, Wisconsin. The Wisconsin State Fair is back. From Thursday, August 3rd to Sunday, August 13th, check out the Wonder Fair Wheel, Spin City Amusement Ride and Game Area, and of course, all the crazy yet tasty new food options, such as the deep fried bacon cheese curd, a seaweed fish sandwich, loaded potato kettle corn, and many of your fan favorites. Vendors will accept cash inside the State Fair, but parking and admission will be cashless. So make sure you come prepared for the 11 days of fun.
Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated has expanded its services to include the Northside Milwaukee Health Center's Family Medicine Residency Program. Join us for our Welcome to the Neighborhood Health Fair on Monday, August 7th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Isaac Cogs Heritage Health Center, 8200 West Silver Spring Drive. This is your chance to meet the 14 new physicians now serving our community. Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated, in collaboration with the Medical College of Wisconsin and Freighter Health, has created Wisconsin's first teaching health center. Enjoy food, fun, and resources, including finding a doctor, health screenings, and health insurance enrollment. Apply for WIC, Women, Infant, and Children Program. The Welcome to the Neighborhood Health Fair, Monday, August 7th, 1 to 4 p.m. at the Isaac Cogs Heritage Health Center. This event is supported by MHS Health Wisconsin. For more information, please call Pamela Clark at 414-267-2655 or visit MHSI.org. Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated. Your health is our business.
Black Arts Fest MKE returns to the Summerfest grounds on Saturday, August 5th from noon till 10 p.m. Come celebrate African heritage and black culture with live music, great food, vendor shopping, and more. The musical lineup includes performances by R&B Live, Classic, Natty Nation, Sean Hinton, Tasha Nicole, Christopher's Project, DMC, Gospel by Anthony McCahey and Praise Motivated, and 4RL and the Inspiration. Come enjoy blues by Marvelous Mac and Cameron Webb, a Tina Turner tribute performed by Ish the Singer, a reunion show by Growing Nation, and more. The Divine Nine Party is back, celebrating all 9 historically black fraternities and sororities. New this year, MSBU will host a stepper set in the cultural stage area with live music performances by DJ Kelsey. What a lineup. You don't want to miss a minute. Saturday, August 5th, Black Arts Fest MKE is where you want to be. Noon till 10 p.m. on the Summerfest grounds. Kids 7 and under get in free, so bring the family. For tickets, go to blackartsfestmke.com. That's blackartsfestmke.com.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, before the break, we were talking about different things that were going on and the benefits about Henrietta Lacks and her Gila sales. You know, Henrietta, H-E-L-A, Lacks, Gila. Only stressing, talking text line says, Raina, I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce that. R-A-N-I, but then you have in pronunciation R-A-H-N-E. Is it Ronnie? I guess so. Should have put R-O-N-N-Y for us old folks so we know how to spell it. Only stressing we should benefit more financially as they benefit from our DNA individually and as a community. Families should receive new treatments developed free. But then where does it end? And then when do people start to hold back? Oh, well, you had nothing to do with this treatment, so you don't get it. You know, because I can see the other side happening because people are human and they're at times evil. And so they may say, well, black people had no input on this, so black people shouldn't get it, or you'll wait till last. I mean, remember COVID? COVID was a black people's disease. We were the one causing it to spread. And initially, we were the ones that were getting it at a significantly higher rate, a significantly higher number. And then it leveled off. Why? Because we were the ones working in public service fields. We were the ones working in hospitality, at the stores, those lower paying jobs that were deemed what? Essential. And we ended up, but of course, like all things, if you're understanding of a curve, right? It evened out. And the majority of people in America ended up being the majority of people with COVID, because that's what happens. You hit the bell curve, and 68% of the people, right smack dab in the middle, was the majority. And so at some point, we go off half-cocked with information that's not all the information and all the data. And then when it changes, we just pretend like we don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Well, that's just not fair. It's not equitable. But at some point, we have to recognize that we have to do our own due diligence, take care of our own, and move ourselves and society as a whole forward. And I know sometimes that's difficult for some people because, you know, and sometimes it's difficult for me. And sometimes things are said and they sound racist. And I know people argue black people can't be racist because they throw the power dynamic in. But when you remove that power dynamic, you can still not like somebody because of their race. But that's just me. 833-212-1017 is the number. I want to go back to what Sandra was talking about when she talked about Milorganite. And what they were talking about was PFAS. Those are called forever chemicals, which is perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl substances. They're a group of man-made chemicals used for water and stain-resistant qualities in products including clothing and carpet, nonstick cookware, packaging, and firefighting foam. They're persistent. They remain both in the environment and the human body over time, and accumulation of the chemical in the body has been linked to cancer, studies have shown, and other adverse health effects. And they are found in Milorganite, but you can't just throw Milorganite under the bus because they are in significantly other things throughout the world, throughout this country, throughout the community. And so let's not throw Milorganite under the bus and say they're the ones, even though it's found in some of their chemicals. They do have some biodegradable things in there, and they also have what's called PFAS, or forever chemicals. And you'll find them in a lot of things that we use. And mostly fertilizers that go into the water, then it goes back out, then it comes back in. And the Sierra Club did a study. Michigan-based Ecology Center found that several fertilizers purchased nationwide contained PFAS. And all the fertilizers contained at least 50% biosolids. And so basically what it's saying is you got to be careful. Just because it's seen as an organic fertilizer doesn't mean it's 100% organic. And so be careful. Okay? I'm just saying. Because at this rate, we won't be breathing air because we'll figure out a way to make clean air bad. It will make food bad. And then, I mean, everything. When I was growing up, we used to talk about red dye number 2. Oh, my God, if you take red dye number 2, you're going to die. It'll kill you. It'll cause cancer. It'll do all this stuff. And then somebody say, excuse me, what? How much red dye number 2 would you have to drink in order for it to have an effect on you? Like the red dye. And it was so much that you would probably drown from water poisoning because it's in like things like water, right? It was just like, what's the red pill you take when you have a cold? I can't remember it. 833-212-1017. I can't remember. I see it. You can get it in the pharmacy. It's the little red pill that everybody freaks out about. All right, somebody hit me up. Sudafed. What were you gonna say? Okay.
I Googled it and they said Paxlovid, but I know Sudafed. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, Sudafed. So, thank you. So Sudafed, you can't get Sudafed. You got to get it from behind the counter because Sudafed is so good. Well, Sudafed used to be over the counter. Now you got to wait and use an ID card or whatever you got to get it. Oh, now you got to buy it. Now you got to go to the pharmacist and get it. You got to sign your name and you got to give me your ID card and you got to, you can use Sudafed to make drugs. You know how many freaking Sudafed pills you would need to make like one set of drugs? The things we do are idiotic. And in the 5 o'clock hour, I'm going to talk about some of those idiotic things. Because I have a study from the Pew Research Center on Generation Z looks a lot like millennials on key social and political issues. We'll talk about that in the 5 o'clock hour. After my top 5 at 5 will be coming up as well. And it just amazes me how we overcompensate. We want to stop selling Big Gulp in New York because that, people drinking too much soda. So we don't tell people, hey, stop drinking soda, work out. If you're going to drink soda, drink a white soda like a Sprite or something like that. And while you're at it, Sierra Mist, something like, While you're at it, just drink less. Drink more water. Nah, we're not going to say that. We're going to ban. They tried to ban big gulp from 7-Eleven. Like, what? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. And so in this study, it talks about things they want government to do. But do you really want government in your life? In some instances, sure. In other instances, no. Absolutely not. I understand things like secondhand smoke, so you can't smoke. But if you want to smoke, smoke outside. I get that. But when you start telling people they can't drink soda, what you going to do, put the company out of business? I don't get it. Sounds weird to me. Top 5 at 5 coming up, and we're going to go back to the numbers because I got such a terrible response from my teammates about the sound. Like, whatever. I guess.
August is Black Business Month, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth is teaming up with Associated Bank to celebrate the greatness of Black businesses in our community. Together, we are committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. This is why I will be spotlighting 4 Black businesses in Milwaukee. Follow 1017 The Truth on social media and YouTube so you can hear the incredible stories of these Black businesses. And make sure y'all buy Black all month long. Whatever your financial needs are, Associated Bank can help. Member FDIC.
Truth Nation, this is Sherwin Hughes, and we want you to join us for our inaugural Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 12th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School in Milwaukee. We're bringing the community together for a family festival that will have something for everyone. There will be live music, delicious food, financial resources, healthcare resources, and free haircuts for the kids. So mark your calendars for Saturday, August 12th to come out to our Truth Family Fest sponsored by Ascension, Wisconsin, Educators Credit Union, Hunger Task Force, and Associated Bank.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ludacris. Back again. The Wisconsin State Fair welcomes Ludacris. Friday, August 11th, 7:30 p.m. at the State Fair main stage, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Get out the way, but how low can you go? Ludacris with special guest Simba. Reserve seats on sale now at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular. Ludacris.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. A smile has a secret power that most people don't know about. A smile multiplies. It spreads from one person to the next, stretching across entire groups of people. Smile Train knows this and is proud to be creating a wave of smiles across the cleft lip and palate community in over 70 countries. Patients, doctors, advocates, fundraisers. Collectively, our smiles are a celebration of the transformed lives of over 1.5 million children. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Talking text lines. Avery said Sudafed. Everybody answered Sudafed, 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 Sudafed. So thank you. Derek, Sir Chance, Uncle Steve, Avery said, I don't like the numbers. Do the sound. What if we do number 5? What you mean we only doing one? If I want both, I want both.
No, I said that's the one person that said that.
But they agree with me. I got to go with what I got. What do you mean? This isn't it's not a vote. What? Anyway, thank you, Avery Shelton. I appreciate it. Only place I can get some love. Uncle Steve said Sudafed. Derek said Red Devil. What's a Red Devil? That's a vacuum? Anyway, Sir John says Sudafed. Mr. Madi, Blackstreet. Get out of here, dude. I know my music. Anyway, beat it. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Number 5.
Well, believe it or not, my number 5 story. Wisconsin lawsuit seeks new liberal-controlled Supreme Court to toss Republican-drawn maps. And all I can say about this story is when we have Democrats and then they'll sue to get Republican and Republican will sue to change. What exactly are we changing? Are we changing it because they're Republican-drawn or because they're unfair? I don't understand. There's never really an explanation about what's going on. The lawsuit is just one of many expected on challenges that could force lawmakers or special commissions to draw yet another set of maps before the 2024 election. I'm tired of it. Latest challenge asks the Wisconsin Supreme Court to take the case directly rather than have it, work it through the lower courts, arguing that the state legislative maps are an unconstitutional gerrymander. Notably, the lawsuit does not challenge the congressional maps. How stupid is that? So you want to win the state legislature, so you try to change the maps so that they're more democratic. But then when they're democratic, black people still won't have their own. So what are you doing? You want to change the state because people voted for who they voted for. There have been instances where it was all Democrat. Then what? And I got to say this publicly, and I think I said it then. Justice of the state Supreme Court, Protasevich, I will never, ever support her on anything she'll ever do. Here's why. You're supposed to be as unbiased as possible. You're supposed to be ethical and follow the rule of law. When you run for office and you tell people your sole job is to overturn things that you think are unfair instead of following the rule of law, that means not only are you prejudiced, but you're biased. And you should not be in office. And that's unfortunate. Because I remember her when she wasn't a judge. I believe she was a prosecutor, and she was a decent, fair, and I hope when she goes there, she changes and realizes the importance of not just following her politics or what she personally thinks, but actually follow the rule of law. That it actually works for us when it's equitable and fair. But when you go in biased, hey, I'm going to go in and overturn abortion, I'm going to go overturn, and you start saying that, you're telling people before you even hear the evidence or the information or the argument how you're going to rule, I have no respect for you at all. The only way I have respect for you is as a human being. As a judge, absolutely not. And it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. And what kind of havoc are you going to reap in the state of Wisconsin because you don't like something and you're using your personal beliefs, not the rule of law and the evidence to make a decision? And you told people that up front. But here's what's going to happen. She's going to end up making decisions that benefit her and her kind, and it's going to be against black people. And then you'll see what she really meant, what she was really saying. And it's unfortunate. I really think it's really unfortunate.
Number 4.
A vacant lot owned by 20th. Owned by, right? Like a street can own it. It's a vacant lot owned near 20th and Clybourne has become a mattress and furniture graveyard. Nick Bohr had this story from WISN.com. It's just been like a bunch of trash just piling up like laundry, mattresses, furniture, and stuff. And it seems like it's a breeding ground for it, says Madison Hosington, who lives in an apartment building next door. Dozens, not a couple, dozens of mattresses, box springs, chairs, couches, and other furniture items litter the lot. Mostly seem to have been discarded recently. It's kind of like people are realizing that they can get away with it, so it seems people just kind of follow the lead of it, and they realize they can just dump stuff there. And now it's accumulating, said neighbor Mark Chowinski. Growing on, what neighbors say, is an almost daily thing. Cheryl Williams said it brings this neighborhood down and it makes it look really, really bad. Residents say they've complained to the city of Milwaukee, not for weeks, for months, only to learn that the lot is actually, get this, owned by the city and has been for 25 years. Hoisington says recently it's getting worse. I don't know where it keeps coming from. I don't know whose lot it is. I mean, they come pick up the trash right behind it, so you think they might notice it. Neighbors fear the longer the city isn't taking action on their own property, the worse it'll get. So late last night, a spokesperson for the who? Milwaukee Department of City Development responded with an inquiry from WISN 12 News regarding the lot. He said, our team was very recently notified of the illegal dumping at the site. Really? After 25 years, they noticed. We've notified our contractor of this matter, and they should be cleaning up the lot soon. That's it. That is what your city has come. Now, I can guarantee you, if this was on the south side of Milwaukee, we wouldn't be having this conversation. They would have already cleaned this place up. They would have already had it. Somebody called one, they called the alderman and a woman, and all of a sudden, it would have been clean. But it's Milwaukee. And it's the north side. So you know what we get, right? What do we get? We get nothing.
Number 3.
I'm going back to my story I talked about earlier. My number 3 story, of course, is Henrietta Lacks Immortal Cells. There was a legal challenge, and they won. There's a settlement with the family of Henrietta Lacks with the biotech company Thermo Fisher Scientific, a Massachusetts-based biotech giant. So there's an undisclosed amount, but I'm pretty sure it was in the millions, and I'm happy about that. And I think that it is long overdue.
Number 2.
Wisconsin and its slate of fake electors are at the center of a new indictment of former President Trump, who's accused of organizing a conspiracy to steal the 2020 election. 10 Wisconsin Republicans signed documents agreeing to be electors for Trump despite the outcome of the election in Wisconsin, in which Joe Biden won the state by about 21,000 votes and earned the state's 10 electoral college votes. The fake electors slate was a portion of the 84 individuals in 7 states who are being scrutinized in an indictment as part of Trump's plan. Robert Spindell, Andrew Haidt, Kelly Rue, Carol Bruner, Scott Grabbins, Daryl Carson, Pam Travis, Mary Boostron, Bill Fahan, Kathy Kiernan are the people who are in the group. What did the group do? After the state Supreme Court upheld Biden's victory in Wisconsin, Democrats met at the Capitol to cast the votes. While it was happening, Republicans met at another part of the Capitol to fill out paperwork claiming Trump won and submitted their findings to Congress, the National Archives, a federal judge, and Wisconsin state, which did absolutely nothing. Who cares, right? He lost. Move around.
Number 1.
Well, a Glendale police officer kind of stepped in it a lot. What?
He likes the numbers too.
Did anybody ask you? I had one person that said they liked it. Why are you laughing so hard? What's going on? 833-212-1017. Numbers or sound? That's all I want to know. Just send me a text. Say numbers or sound. You don't get the text. I don't want to see your name pop. And then he's texting. Oh my gosh! I tell you, can't trust nobody. Can I have a number? Look, both of y'all text. See, I hate y'all. I hate you. I hate you.
Number 1.
A Glendale police officer, I shouldn't be laughing about this story. A Glendale police officer charged with possession of child pornography has been fired by the department, according to Chief Mark Ferguson. Jonathan W. Engel, 23, faces 7 charges of possession of child pornography in Waukesha County. David Herring, the judge, issued a $5,000 cash bond for which Engel paid and was released. According to the criminal complaint, Engel uploaded an image of apparent child pornography on Reddit under the username RickySlick698. Investigators were able to use the IP address for the username to connect it to a home in Pewaukee where Engel lived, and investigators also connected his personal email address and the Reddit username through matching the 3 numbers at the end of both. In an interview with police, Engel said he watched porn daily and that he had a porn addiction. He went on to tell investigators he would seek out rape videos, and while seeking those videos, I would occasionally click links containing child pornography. Engel told police when he did see these pictures, he'd exit out of the browser and delete the app. He also told investigators he would talk to girls that told him they were 18, but later found they were 16. Engel said, obviously, I sent it to somebody, and that's why I'm here. Like I said, you guys don't arrest people for no blanking reason. Investigators found 6 images of child pornography on his cell phone, according to the criminal complaint. And in a statement, Ferguson, Glendale's police chief, said they were notified by Waukesha County Sheriff's Office that they arrested Engel on July 31st. The department fired him the same day. All I can say about the issue, hey, dude, good riddance. They do build jails just for you.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Sherwin Hughes, and I am Milwaukee. This show has meant so much to me because it's an opportunity for me to express my thoughts and my feelings to my community, and for my community to express those same thoughts and feelings right back to me. Milwaukee means a lot to me. I was born here, raised here, educated here, and I'm committed to making this a better city. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the new 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee, Black Talk.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their Community Uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as 1 business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a Community Uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Good Karma Brands is celebrating Thriving Through. We are proud to share an encouraging story from The Truth's General Manager, Cherie Harris, of thriving through her breast cancer diagnosis.
What words of encouragement or advice would you give to someone else who either might be in your shoes now, or they might be going through the first initial step of finding out, and their brain might be a little frantic with just a bunch of information and scenarios? So what advice would you give them, or words of encouragement?
I would say don't lose hope. This is not a death sentence. This is a reset sentence. This is something that's, yes, going to change you. It's going to change your perspective on a lot of things that you are going through. It's going to change your body makeup, but it does not define you. And it's something, like I always say, you can thrive through. And surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with a great medical team who advocates for you and give you the best care, because you're worth it. And just don't settle for something you don't know about. Ask questions. Hope is key. I would say having a positive mind and just being positive about life is key with this disease we call cancer.
How are you able to find the right team to go through this journey with you when it comes to the medical professionals that you have?
I did my research. I went online and I looked up the biographies of my team. I wanted someone who's innovative. I wanted to be part of a research program because I feel like my outcome is going to help the next woman or next male that encounters this disease. And so I would say do your research, ask questions, ask about their history. You are entitled to do that. That's what you're paying them for. And find out, what other specialties they have outside of cancer. You could be affected by the treatment, and you're going to need them to understand what that is for you.
Support our Thrive Through initiative by buying an exclusive Truth Thrive Through shirt by visiting 1017thetruth.com. All proceeds go to support breast cancer research. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Talking text line said numbers. Okay. So it's 1 and 1. So I still get to make the choice. Hey, Truth Nation, we want to celebrate the survivors of breast cancer. You just heard it. We highlight stories of fighting and thriving through these diagnoses. And so I want you to visit 1017 The Truth YouTube page. Watch the interview in its entirety. You just heard it with Carrie Noni interviewing our beloved general manager, Cherie Harris, as she describes how she thrived through her diagnosis. So to celebrate her journey, for a limited time only, we're selling specialty 1017 The Truth shirts. Go to 1017thetruth.com right now. Purchase your limited edition Thrive Through shirt. All proceeds go to support Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Breast Cancer Care and Research Fund. Again, support the effort. We ask you, I'm asking you, Truth Nation, go to 1017thetruth.com, purchase a shirt. It's a limited edition Truth shirt, and support the fight against breast cancer. Also, Black-owned business Give Back is back, so we have also teamed up with Associated Bank to help local black businesses grow and succeed together. The home of Milwaukee Black Talk will be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black-owned businesses each quarter of 2023. To sign up, for this incredible marketing opportunity, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. All one word. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure right here on 1017 The Truth. For official contest rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com, Associated Bank member FDIC. And if you want to join us for our free and open to the public Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 12th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., you have to come over to the Riverside University High School in the city of Milwaukee. We're bringing the community together for a free Family Fest that has, I think, something for everybody. Live music, free haircuts, food, healthcare resources, financial education resources, free giveaways. Can't wait to see you Saturday, August 12th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at our Truth Family Fest. Truth Family Fest is sponsored by Ascension, Wisconsin Educators Credit Union, Hunger Task Force, and Associated Bank member FDIC. So there. You was asking me some questions earlier, I think. I don't know if I'm gonna try not to say it, but you were talking about Lizzo, and I'm gonna try. Now, what was she?
You might as well say it.
Well, I got nothing. So you was asking me what I thought about. Tell the story.
Okay, so basically Lizzo, if anyone doesn't know about the story, basically Lizzo was with her dancers, backup dancers in Amsterdam for one of her tours or concerts, and part of the dancers have since then put out a lawsuit against her for sexual harassment and I think abuse of some kind, or like verbal abuse,
physical abuse.
There it is. Yep. So one of the part of the story of the lawsuit is that they went to a club in Amsterdam on the red light district, which is a street for prostitution, legal prostitution. And they were at a club, and apparently she was kind of like coaxing them or encouraging them to do a sexual act.
So she was pushing up on them. Is that what I'm hearing?
That, and then she was that, and she was trying to get them to push up on
somebody else,
performers there,
by having them touch genitalia on other naked people.
I won't say it on the air, but doing some other illicit stuff. So I guess my question was to you is just like, you said, well, I won't say what you said, but
I'll say
what are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, first of all, is Lizzo that big when I saw Lizzo, I didn't see the big deal. I didn't. We're triumphing people, fat shaming, stuff like that. I get it, right? That's bad. But I'm not. She can play a flute. Okay. I'm not. I don't like her music. I'm not a fan. She's a good musician. I'm just not into that. And so people talk about, she's obese. So what? Most of America is obese. If you're 25 pounds or more higher, or 20, whatever it is, more weight than you should be, even though you may not look obese, you're obese medically. So is that like a thing? Because, if you are, I've seen some women that were obese that carried themselves in such a way where they were beautiful. So for me, that's not it. What are you shocked for?
Are you saying that like she's not beautiful just because you can tell that she's
No,
obese?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that women can be beautiful regardless of their size, regardless of who they are. Okay. Period. But a person has a right to prefer or not prefer something. So you can't scream at people because if they don't like large women that, there's something wrong with you. Well, no, there's not, because you have preferences too. We all have choices and preferences, and that's it. Now, you don't have to belittle people or talk about them, but I hear the same thing. It's weird. You could talk about skinny women, but you can't talk about fat women. Like, what is that? That's just weird to me.
That is true. That's kind of is pretty odd. But I feel like.
But you don't think skinny women feel bad for calling them skinny?
Yeah.
Oh my God, girl, you need to put some meat on your bones. Right?
That's also valid. I would say the same. I feel like it depends on how you say it, but I feel like there are more, as you said, like there are more obese people in the United States than there are skinnier people.
And in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Who cares? That's a personal thing on you. If you don't want to work out or God forbid, you have a medical condition that causes you to have to be overweight. You might be on steroids, and it causes you to pick up weight. Like all those things, and instead of people thinking about it, they just go, oh, you're not pure beautiful or you're not pretty because you don't look like what I think you should look like. I think this country has done a that's not the word I was going to say, a poor job at making people feel okay to be who they are. So Lizzo is cool, but I don't know if you should go out and be all that because and your ego kicks in, and that's ridiculous. That's why I'm not going to see Barbie. Barbie represents what people should look like. I've never seen an obese Barbie. Barbie has put women, this is my opinion, on a place where that's how you have to look. Blonde hair, blue eyes, thin, hourglass figure. And if you don't look like this, and I watch people every day go work out every day, and my God, you're 65, 70 years old. When will it end? But we just have this society that just causes people to.
But that's the point, too, because I feel like when we have that image of a Barbie, then it's less likely for us to tease people or bully. Not all people, but most people who are skinny versus being big. Because our image is, okay, we want to look like Barbie. That's like the ideal, I guess. But then you have Lizzo. Not to me, no. But when you have Lizzo's, it's like, okay, I can pick at you because you don't fit the societal norm. If you are skinny or skinnier than Barbie, you're still within this range of acceptable, standards. So I think it's why there is so much hate when it comes to people who are bigger. But then again, we live in a country that has people who are more leaning towards Lizzo's size than they are towards smaller than Barbie size or Barbie size.
I don't know if I call it hate. That takes a lot of energy to hate somebody who's bigger than you, who could literally sit on you and kill you. I'm just saying.
Say that to the people in our comments.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you may not want to fight that person. I'm just saying. They're like 6'4", 250. You're like 130, dripping wet. They might just like accidentally bend over and kill you. So, I'm just saying. But the issue was the girls that were arguing with Lizzo were her size. They were her backup singers, which I thought was odd. So you're going to sit here and fat shame two large women and you're large? That's just that's a person that doesn't have good self-awareness.
Right. Do you think a person who's been bullied their lives can become the bully?
I think that always happens.
Yeah.
But I don't personally, I don't know if bullying is as bad as we've made it. I think we now have people who are softer and have not worked through the mental acumen it takes to overcome being bullied and develop self-esteem where they don't really care. But I was bullied a lot growing up. I mean, significantly beat up, stuff stolen, all that. But it didn't make me become a cop. It made me learn how to stand up for myself and be forward thinking and use that as fuel. And many of the things that I've had and are successful about today is because somebody did something and I said, okay, watch this. And I did it. And so it's been fuel for me because I'm at a point where I will never let another person make me feel different or hurt because you said something to me. Like I'm just immune. Of all the crap that's happened to me, I'm just immune. And I guess what it is, when you get, once you've been shot at, a lot of stuff is just not that deep. Like, okay. I mean, when your life's been threatened, you just kind of go, hey there. And so over time, you develop that hardness, that thickness where you can, as they say, have a internal locus of control that whatever happens to me, I can fix it.
So in regard to
I can make it
Lizzo,
through.
sorry.
She's on the other side. It's everybody else in life. It's your fault that I'm this way. You didn't do this. If you don't do that, and most bullies are like that. If you don't do that, she actually told them if they didn't do this, they were fired. And so my thing is, if you actually did it, you're an idiot. That's on you. I would never want something so bad that I would do something that I would never do because I want that. I would be like, nah, that's okay. I just won't be here. I'm out. Right? I'm just saying. Is it really that important? No. I can't think of anything else other than saving my family's life. there's not much I can do. And even then, depending on how they made. No, I'm just teasing. They made me mad. Forget her. But at some point, you have to be responsible for you. And so Lizzo's going to get her comeuppance. And if she's found guilty, she'll probably pay a lot of money. Her records, does she make a lot of money? I don't know.
I think she's got Yitty, which is her like clothing brand. So she makes money. She's got like her own little endeavors. She's Grammy nominated, and she does all right, I think.
I'm just not a fan. Like Lizzo. Whatever. You know what I'm going to do today? Stop talking about Lizzo.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Attention families, Milwaukee Public Museum wants to remind you that Kohl's Thank You Thursdays are in full swing. Receive free access to MPM's permanent exhibits on the first Thursday of every month. Milwaukee Public Museum would like to thank Kohl's for their support in making this program possible. Visit MPM's website today for more information and to book your reservations. mpm.edu/KTYT. That's mpm.edu/KTYT.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Truth Nation, it is Denise Thomas.
And Telly Hughes.
From Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. And guess what?
What is that, DT?
Our Truth fans can now watch and stream us live every day, Telly.
Wait a minute, Denise. Let me make sure I got this thing right. Our amazing and incredible Truth fans can go to 1017thetruth.com, click the Watch Live link, and watch me and you do our thing live from YouTube and Twitter every morning?
Yes, Telly, that is exactly right. So now they can watch you almost lose your black card every Friday during our Truth Telling Hit segment.
Come on now. You know I'm never losing my black card. But Truth Nation, you gotta tune into all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows, as you can not only listen live on the app, but you can also stream us live all day, every day by going to 1017thetruth.com and clicking the Watch Live link.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets, and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Southbound on 41, we've got an accident right about at Capitol Drive's on-ramp. It's off on the left shoulder. Then we've got another issue on southbound 41 right about at Hampton Avenue. We got the right lane, or actually right shoulder blocked because of a crash. Westbound on 94, still dealing with a couple of cars off on the right shoulder at 25th Street is with a crash. And then we've got off the freeway system on eastbound Capitol Drive, we've got the center lane blocked, all because of a crash or an incident right about at Highway 100. So be prepared for those delays. We'll check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Partly cloudy and humid, a low of 69. Tomorrow, sunny, hot, and humid. Slight chance for a pop-up shower or storm, high of 90. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Stein. Behind 6 innings of work from Freddie Peralta and a timely hit from Joey Wiemer, the Milwaukee Brewers bounced back on Tuesday night in Washington to snap their 4-game losing streak, beating the Nationals by a final score of 6-4. The Brewers will look for the series win later today in our nation's capital. 12:05 is the first pitch. Wade Miley expected to get the start. Over to the NFL, where the Packers held their first full padded practice on Tuesday afternoon. So far in camp, there have been some lows and some highs for new starter Jordan Love in the offense. But for the former first-round pick, it's all about establishing consistency throughout the summer.
I think it's just that consistency. I don't think we are being consistent in all the rules, in the offense. As consistent as we can be in the plays, and it just comes down to us being on the same page.
This sports update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Bob, you are on the new 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Hello, Dr. Ken. I just want to elaborate. There is a lot of big people on this earth. And, I mean,
it's just the way you said it.
Well, it is, and I know there's you have a nice heart inside, does not reflect. I mean, it's a positive thing, so you can't judge them by a person's weight. And I just want to also say, Dr. Kent, you are actually has transformed yourself from a Chicagoan to an actual Milwaukeean. How have you transferred yourself?
How's that?
By saying soda instead of pop. That is a natural characteristic. It confirms that you are and there's nothing wrong with it. It's okay. You're Milwaukee.
Actually, growing up, I called it soda pop. Actually, growing up,
that's the name.
Soda pop, right?
Yeah, and that's the name on the can. I don't know why we say pop, but I do. And you say soda. Just
you say soda, I say pop. Soda, pop, soda, pop. That's how low this show has gone today.
All right, Doctor. You take care.
All right, bye. Thanks for calling, Bob. From Illinois. 833-212-1017 is the number. Mr. D say I got 6 on it. Dude, what are you doing? Are you up on a roof? You have like altitude poisoning or something. Come down. Get on the ladder and come back down to earth. Come on. Come on. So I saw this story and I heard about it and I kind of freaked out when I heard it and I had to look it up. And I don't know if it's something I would ever do. I think it's just another reason for women to get mad at men. Designer babies. Not designer clothes for babies. Actual designer babies. Babies that have been genetically modified to produce a child with specific traits. In some cases, unfavorable characteristics or bad traits like genetic diseases may be removed. Favorable traits like intelligence or strength might be. Can you imagine the earth with all smart people? Know-it-alls everywhere. I would say we should we should take the genetic marker that if you give somebody intelligence, they have to be ugly. And they have to be fat. Like you only get 1 out of 3. Right? So you can choose to be absolutely drop dead beautiful, dumb as a box of rocks, and 3 lips. Right? You got to be ugly. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But you don't get all 3. This is terrible. While it might seem like it's straight out of science fiction, designer children are becoming a reality and are so abounding questions that talks about how the process works. I got some ethical questions, of course. How do you create them? They use advanced in vitro fertilization, and part and parcel of the designer baby discussion is ethics. There's going to be ongoing ethical debate about whether it's okay to actively edit genetic traits, and more importantly, how to do so responsibly. How do you responsibly change somebody and give them an IQ of 172? Guidance and regulations should be the cornerstones of any work in this field, without a doubt. To that end, if allowed, says Dr. John Zhang, medical director and CEO of New Hope Fertility Center, the ability to speed this up and remove unwanted defects in humans is important. I'm in full support of this work, of course, because he gets paid, for medical necessity and use, but understand that this is controversial and ethically we need to gauge the public sentiment. What would be medically necessary if your child is born with cerebral palsy, if your child is born with a genetic mutation that causes something bad for them or not to have the quality of life that a human being deserves? I can see it. As to whether parents have a right to prenatal autonomy, it depends largely on things like what it's used for. Preventing and curing diseases has a different ethical connotation than choosing a baby's gender, eye color, and propensity toward athleticism or intelligence. Now we're building super soldiers as children. Ethical debate around designer babies will continue to deal with genetic modification itself, as well as when and how it's appropriate. Here's what I say. There. What happened to, oh my God, it's a boy, it's a girl? What happened to that? What happened to being surprised? My issue before we go to break is I've seen people know the gender of their baby and then they lost the baby and had to live with having had a baby shower with either all boy stuff or all girl stuff. And that terrifies me. Two, that's unfortunate. And how do you get through that? Surprise. Be surprised. I think you should love your kid no matter what the genetic defect is, no matter what happens, no matter what. That's your child, and you take care of it. But the fact that you could, genetics, I get. But when you start choosing eye color, hair color, blonde, brunette, and my question is this. What do you do? Ooh, I probably shouldn't say that. What if you're black and you decide you want a lighter baby? Because you think lighter skin, brown is, like when you get into all the colorism, that's a problem.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans.
Hello, I'm Tony Evers, the Governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. You have already made a most noble sacrifice. You shouldn't have to continue doing so. We are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's never easy to ask for assistance, but rest assured, we're here to help. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you. Call 833-WIS-VRAP. That's 833-947-8727. Or visit vrapwi.com. On behalf of the state of Wisconsin, thank you.
Educators Credit Union is dedicated to celebrating diversity in the cities where they live and work. Because of this dedication, they support black businesses not just during National Black Business Month, but throughout the year. Supporting black businesses boosts local economies, produces jobs, and helps entrepreneurs achieve their dreams. Educators Credit Union will continue sharing the stories of black businesses, building relationship with businesses in local communities, and buying from these businesses. Learn more about their community partnerships at ECU.com.
Hi, I'm Juliana Krantz, and I'm a proud Riverside University High School Tiger. As a rising junior, my favorite things about Riverside have to be the friends I've made here and the extracurriculars I get to take part in. I also really like being able to challenge myself in my classes. I'm excited for the school year because it means I get to have another amazing season on the Forensic Speech and Debate team at RUHS. On August 12th, come and see Riverside and get ready to head back to school at the Truth Family Fest from 10 to 3. We will have food trucks, vendors, and entertainment. See you there!
When you choose Ascension Wisconsin for your family's care needs, you'll get the right care at the right place at the right time, and you'll get an entire team ready to care for your family. Family medicine doctors care for the whole family, and Ascension Wisconsin will help make sure your family is up to date on screenings and yearly wellness checks. Ascension also cares for you when you are sick and helps manage ongoing chronic conditions. If you don't have a primary care doctor, go to getascensionwisconsincare.com to find one today.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Before we get out of here, I wanted to go back to a study I saw, and I talked about it briefly, but I never really jumped into it, from the Pew Research that talked about, well, basically generation gaps in views on race. And so there was an article that the Pew Research Center released, and this is from January of 2019, but I thought it was appropriate to look at in today's environment with the elections coming up and all the things that are happening with Donald Trump and Democrats in the state of Wisconsin. And so younger generations have a different perspective than their older counterparts on the treatment of blacks in the United States. 2/3 of Gen Z, 66%, and 62% of millennials say blacks are treated less fairly than whites in the U.S. Fewer Gen Xers, 53%, boomers, 49%, silent generation, 44%. Roughly half of silent generation, 44%, say both races are treated about equally, compared with just 28% among Generation Z. The patterns are similar. After controlling for race, younger generations of white Americans are far more likely than whites in older generations to say that black people are not receiving fair treatment. Younger generations also have a different viewpoint on the issue of NFL players kneeling during the national anthem as a protest. Majority among Gen Z 61%. Millennial generation, 62% approve of the protests. Smaller shares of Gen Xers, 44%, and baby boomers, 37% favor the actions. Members of the silent generation disapprove of protests by more than 2/3. More than 2-to-1, 68% disapprove and 29% approve. Gen Zers and millennials share similar views about racial and ethnic change in the country. Roughly 6 in 10 from each generation say increased racial and ethnic diversity is a good thing for our society. Gen Xers are somewhat less to agree. 52% say it's a good thing, and older generations are even less likely to view this positively. Younger Republicans stand out in this regard. Half of Gen Z Republicans, 51%, now get this, say increased racial and ethnic diversity is a good thing for the country. This compares with 38% of millennials, 34% of Gen X, 30% of boomers, and 28% of the silent generation and Republicans. And so among Democrats, of course, there's widespread agreement across generations. What does that tell you? That tells you that this country is changing. I believe the problem is actually social media, where they talk about they're okay getting their news from social media as if they don't understand that information that's on social media, while it's convenient, it's not accurate. And so their choices of social media reflecting what they think is based on the fact that they simply agree with it. And that doesn't make something accurate or precise or even really bona fide, really. And so one of the effects that I see is in journalism school, where we're putting out journalists that don't have a clear understanding of a source that's legitimate and a source because somebody told them. Because you can always find 10 people that agree with you. That doesn't make it right. They just agree. And so I've seen in the past 5-10 years journalists that tend to stop when they find something that they agree with. Oh, well, it must be right because I agree too. Instead of being unbiased as possible and working from the middle. Most generations are indifferent about cohabitation, but some are more negative when they view single motherhood. Interesting. So if you get a chance, hit Google, Pew Research Center, and check out this study. I think it's great. I think it paints a clear understanding of what younger generations believe is important, and show, especially with social media, how they understand it, and so how they tend to be taken advantage of because of what they believe and what they understand it to be. And some of the information is disinformation. If you go back to the 1920s, the 1930s, as communism was coming into vogue, and as socialism and what would you call Germany? Anyway, it wasn't communism. It was a form of socialism. But they figured out one of the ways to turn people and to destroy people is from the inside. And if you think about it from a human point of view, or if you think about it from a country, the way the Soviet Union broke up and became Russia was internal. Germany, internal. If you get a person drunk or on drugs and destroy them from the inside out, you ruin their life. And I think those are some of the things we have to be careful of. So when we look at social media, it's tending to destroy this country from the inside at every level. think we got to be careful of that. Check out this Pew Research Center. I think it's great. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tory Lowe Show is coming up next. He'll be ringing it around. I think I come back around 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm out. And those midday folks will be coming up at 5 a.m. and then, or was it 6 a.m.? Or is it 9 a.m.? Or is it, anyway. They'll be up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you can check out Lil O, DT, and Telly at 7 a.m. and be back another day. I'm your host, again, Dr. Ken Harris. Thank you, Rhea. Appreciate you. God bless. Take care. I'm out.